Hello everyone and welcome to Wednesday. Today we are doing an unboxing video because I got a new camera and I know that my normal audience is going to be like, why, Stephen, what? There's a good reason. I can't go into it at this specific moment in time, but there is actually a reasonable explanation for why we had to get another camera. We are going to be replacing this camera. This is the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera 4K. I have only nice things to say about that thing. We've had that for 3.5 years, going almost 4 years. And man, it's been good. It's been a really, really good camera. And knowing how good it's been is what led me to get another Blackmagic camera to replace it. We're still going to be using that camera in a different manner. But again, I'm not going to talk about that yet. I'll talk about it all very, very soon though. So the camera that's going to be replacing it is the Blackmagic Studio Camera 4K Pro. This is it's a relatively new camera. It came out, I think, within the last like 12 months. There's two flavors of this. There's the Plus and the Pro. The Pro is the more expensive model, but you get a few extra things. Namely, the thing that I was most excited about was just having two XLR ports directly on the camera. The Plus model doesn't have that. This also has got some other really cool features, like it has Ethernet, where you can actually control the entire camera over an Ethernet cable. So like power, and then also anything you need to do, you can do remotely, which is really neat and a feature that I don't plan to use, but it's just really neat that it's on there. For me specifically, having the XLR ports was enough of a reason to go the step up to the Pro model. And this is, I believe it's the exact same sensor as the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera 4K. However, even though the 4K will record 4K video up to 60 frames per second, or DCI 4K, it won't output 4K over HDMI. So the HDMI is whatever that is, 1.4, I think, whatever 1080 is. This, however, is HDMI 2.0, so it will output 4K over HDMI, which is kind of helpful because we've actually been doing some more stuff in 4K, and whenever we do stuff in 4K, the camera is actually limited to 1080. This, however, will just do 4K. But again, we're still going to be using that camera for something else. So this is an exciting camera because as a replacement for this, it's going to meet all of the needs and exceed them. And then also, if we ever need to use it as a more, I mean, it's going to be used in a studio, but as a more studio camera, I wish they showed the back. Did they show the back on this somewhere? Yeah. So you can see it's actually got a 7-inch screen on the back. And these cameras are designed to be like handled by an operator. So if we ever have the need for that, we have a camera that can do that, which is really, really nice. And the price difference, honestly, between something like this and the Pocket 4K is not that extreme. So in my opinion, in order to get some of the stuff that we didn't have on that, and then also this does a bunch of other stuff, I'm like, we should just get this camera. So we are kind of all set for a while. So we're gonna actually open this thing now. And one of the big differences between this camera and the Pocket Cinema series is that the Pocket Cinema series comes with a full version of Resolve, which could be like a big thing for people. Like if you don't have a full version of Resolve, then that might be something to consider. So you have your little welcome thing, and then they give you a Blackmagic design sticker, which is neat. I don't think I've ever had one of those before. And then they give you this, which says DaVinci Resolve free download, but like this is not the studio version. So this isn't like the $300 piece of software. This is just what you can download on your own. So again, the studio cameras don't come with Resolve, but you can get the free version for free on their site. So we've got a tripod plate, which also has space for rails if you have like a really, really big lens that you're using this for. There's also, what is this? So one of the things, because these are typically used in larger studio environments, is it actually has a tally light, and it comes with all of the number decals. So if you had multiple cameras and your talent needs to know which camera is active, you can number them, so then you like, oh, it's camera 2, and then you know which camera you're working on. So that's neat. And I was like, what could possibly be in this little dime bag? And it's numbers. That's what those are. I have to be careful not to lose those. When we open up this, we get to the actual camera, which is a great deal larger than the Pocket Cinema Camera 4K, but also this is designed to be a studio camera. And it's neat. So we've got SDI, we've got HDMI, there's Ethernet, there's 2 different ways to power it. And then on the other side, there's the 2 XLR audio ports, and then also a headset port, which is a 5-pin XLR. And then you've got 2 USB C ports. Now you can also record with this, which is helpful because we typically do mail videos up here. The difference is Pocket Cinema Camera will do not only Blackmagic RAW, but also ProRes. This will only do Blackmagic RAW. So you can't do ProRes with this, but that's not really a big deal. It also has a fold-out sunshade. So you can have a sunshade on this, and I believe this is all removable if you don't need this on here, which we don't. We're not using it outside. But the fact that it comes with it is nice. It is a very big display. It's 7 inches, which is bigger than the 5-inch one on the Pocket Cinema Camera 4K, and I believe it's an HDR screen. So my presumption is that it's hitting 1,000 nits, which is a lot for a little device like this. That's nice. It also means that you don't have to worry about having an additional monitor. And this is they've had a lot of cameras like these over the years, which have the displays built in. In fact, during the first Run of Guys Coliseum, they actually shot all of it on one of the old studio cameras. This is just like the updated model. You've also got dials on the front for brightness, contrast, and peaking. And then you've got probably a user settable dial here, along with function keys. Cool. It is a big boy. I mean, if you look at the size comparison here, it's a little bit bigger.
Turn it. Yeah.
But that's fine. That's totally fine. And this, this is a really nice camera. And again, the price difference between these two is really not that drastic. This can do more in some ways, and this can do more in others. And it really depends on what your specific needs are. For most people, I would still recommend this. In my opinion, the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera 4K is still an absolute steal of a camera. I love this camera, and it's been very, very good to us. We're just looking to do some other things that require more cameras. I wanted to get another Blackmagic camera, and in order to step up from this, the thing that made the most logical sense was this. Now, the lens that I decided to get is actually the same lens I have on that, which is the Panasonic 1235, which is, and this is a micro four thirds sensor, so it's a 2470 equivalent, and it's great. I honestly, for the price, I don't think you can find a more versatile lens because it's covering a really good focal length, and it's a fast lens at f2.8. We've really enjoyed using it, and I decided to get another one because we're going to be using that lens with that camera in a different situation. So I was like, yeah, why not? We'll just get the exact same thing because it's just a really good, lens. So I'm excited to use this. This is a big deal. One of the things that I'm excited to use with this specifically is having 2 XLR ports. The Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera 4K has one. It's actually a mini, so you have to have this little adapter in order to convert the mini XLR to a full size. This just has 2 full-size ports, which not long ago, you probably recall, we got that C-stand and a second mic, so we can have more people on the couch. The way that I've been doing that up to this point is hooking up the FX3, which is not ideal. It's not an ideal setup. So we're going to be using this to actually hook both of them into it all the time. Now you can hook up mics into any camera, but you're going to need some sort of device. Like if you have a Zoom H4n Pro, like you could do that and then run that into this. But if you have one of these, you don't need any other stuff. It just goes straight into the camera, which I find more convenient. Okay, give me a minute and I'm gonna get this thing slotted onto the tripod. So I got this hooked up, pretty easy and straightforward. The power locks into place, although on the Pocket Cinema Camera 4K it locked in with a different method too, so that's neat. I took the sunshade off. There's a little latch that you pressed and it comes right off, which is good.
Did you peel the thing off?
I haven't peeled the thing off. I'm gonna turn this thing on. And so one of the great things about this is that it runs, the Blackmagic OS. And the Blackmagic OS, there we go. The Blackmagic OS is awesome. It's so good. Like, it's just so good. It is by and large the best operating system on any camera. Like it's perfect. Every other camera company could learn a whole lot from what Blackmagic is doing. So all I got to do now is set all this stuff back to the way that I had it. And one of the things that I'll have to do is I use a custom LUT for our streams, and that LUT is on my computer, and it's also on an SD card that's in the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera 4K. This doesn't have SD cards because it's a studio camera. Why would it have SD card slots? So I'm going to have to move that LUT onto a USB-C drive and then put that USB-C drive on this to get the LUT onto it. And that'll be basically it. Like the menu is really easy to operate. So like I said before, this only, and actually that's the other thing, the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera 4K will do lower resolutions. This will only do Ultra HD 4K. So you can't do DCI on this, and then you also can't do 1080p. So good. If we move over here, I do film, preferred drive for recording, which we don't even have a drive on here right now. I usually do sharpening high because we're streaming. I want it to look sharp and I'm not doing anything in post. Leave all of that alone for right now because I'm gonna have to change it on my own. So right now this is the camera audio. So we're gonna do XLR line 1, and when I get the other thing hooked up, we'll do XLR line 2, and it does require phantom power. How do I make it do? Oh, mic. It's mic level, not line level. There we go. So we'll give that phantom power. So now that mic is being picked up. So that's good. If the channel gain is the same as the other one, that would be great, because the channel gain I had it set to was 70. I'm probably going to have to play with that in order to make sure that that's right, and going into OBS sounds the same. But my goal is to get all this set up and then have it be fairly indistinguishable from how things had been. And I'll know if I did it right because tomorrow's breakfast stream, no one will say anything. If it looks the same and it sounds the same and no one says anything, then I did it right. Of course, it's probably not gonna sound exactly the same because I'm gonna actually set up the other mic. So me and Mal will both be mic'd tomorrow morning, and I'm excited to actually do that and try that because I've never had a chance to do that before. So that's gonna be really fun. God, this is such a big screen. It's such a big screen. It's so nice. It's so nice. I do shutter angle usually, right? Yeah, so we'll leave that 180. And then this is usually set to something different. I think right now I've been using 5.6, but it's hard to tell with
the light's not on.
With the light's not on, but I'll get all this stuff set up. Cool. This is very, very cool. I'm excited to play a little bit more with this, but not too much because I already know that it works. Because I've been using the other product for such a long time. I seriously really, really love the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera 4K. If you are looking for a really, really nice camera, especially in a studio environment, it's really hard to beat it. The limitations of it are that it does HDMI out only up to 1080p. Like that's it. I mean, if you're running it off of batteries, the batteries suck. Like the batteries aren't going to last you very long. But I don't know that I have a whole lot of other bad things to say about it. I mean, you have to know the limitations of the camera. It doesn't have autofocus. It doesn't have any sort of stabilization. It doesn't have IBIS. And that's why I say it's such a good studio camera, because if you're leaving it in a studio on a tripod, it's great. And knowing what I know about that camera just makes me excited about this one, because this is just more of the same. So obviously it's something that doesn't fit everyone's needs. Like if you need like a run and gun camera, I don't think I would suggest the Pocket Cinema Camera 4K unless you also had like a gimbal. But yeah, I mean, for a studio camera, I think Blackmagic products just cannot be beat. You get so much stuff for the price. It's just an astoundingly good deal. Anyway, that's it. That's it for today's vlog. I'm sure that some of you really enjoyed this, and some of you are like, why do you need another camera? What's the other camera for? We will talk about it soon. I'm very excited about that aspect too. There's a lot to talk about, but I'm not ready to talk about it yet. I need a few more weeks, but we're getting there, and it'll be exciting to talk about it when we get to that point. Till then, I gotta clean up this mess, and then I've got to get the LUT installed on this, and I have to get the microphones moved in the right way. Yeah, one of the reasons I'm getting all this set up is that we got this today. I know we just picked up Stray, and I do still want to play Stray, but we are going to be doing The Quarry, and Alex and Haley are going to be joining us. I'm very excited, and
It's October.
It's October, so it's spooky month. It's time to do something spooky, and Quarry is going to be our spooky game. The four of us are going to play it, which is one of the reasons I want to make sure I get all of this stuff set up. So that's what I'm doing right now. Thanks for watching. Let's meet back tomorrow, shall we?